Stone vet, the stone vet. I hit the ground running when I'm invading your country. It's still with honor and discipline. Throw my guns like onyx, dressed in camo with ammo for every situation I handle. They got us marching and stepping.
What's up, guys? RNG here from the Stone Vet USMC. Happy hump day, man. I'm glad you guys are here with me, getting over that hump, man. Halfway through the week. And you know how horrible that can be, man, especially if it's been a long fucking week. It's like, damn it, dude, this sucks. What do I got to keep me entertained to get me over the hump? And that's why Veteran Trash Talk said, hey, let me bring Sergeant G on from the Stone Vet and talk his nonsense. You guys know that my Wednesday episodes are my political standpoint, what's going on in our country and how I feel with what the hell's going on in our country. And we can all see it, right? It's stupid, the stupidity that goes on. And just my point of view, dude. It's my opinion. And I live in a free country and I can express my opinion, right? Well, that's what I believed until what happened to fucking Joe Rogan last week, right? Like I talked to you guys last week. Joe Rogan can't express his opinion. And everybody's like, well, I'm just pulling my shit off Spotify. Pull it, dude. Joe Rogan by himself has over 11 million followers, 11 million subscribers to what he does. You think those other people who have 5, 6 million, does it hurt? Yeah, it sucks. But it's not going to break down the company. The company's not going to close down because they pull their music off of it, right? Not at all, man. I'm super excited to be here with you guys, man. Like I said, if you're watching the video, you can see my beautiful gold Warhammer that Mr. Travis Johnson here with me presented to me as the #1 Marine Corps podcast in the entire world. You know, huge shout out to my sponsor, Raffle 180. Raffle 180 provides you the best medicinal grade CBD on the market. One of the biggest struggles we have is sleep, right? We don't get no sleep. And if we do get sleep, we're getting between 2 to 4 hours of sleep. Why? Because we're veterans and we suck at getting sleep because that's just the way we've been made serving in the military, right? When you get that sleep, you want to be able to hit that REM cycle at least for a couple of hours so you can wake up energized to take on the rest of the day, right? And so Raffle 180 provides great medicinal CBD to help you get that rest and relaxation that you need so you can go to sleep and not think about what the shit you got to do tomorrow because we're always thinking about the next day, the next step, right? Raffle 180 provides some amazing sapphire and a night ops created by an Army veteran he is an Army, Iraq and Afghanistan war veteran. And he's provided medicinal needs to help us get the rest that we need. So go check out Raffle 180. That's Romeo Alpha Papa Hotel Alpha 180.com to get all your medicinal CBD needs. And when you check out with the Stone Vet USMC, you get 15% off your entire purchase. And guess what? It's all priority shipping. So it comes to your front door, dude. You don't have to wait. It's going to take a couple of days to get to you. You're not waiting weeks, which is great. I love it, dude. But I'm super excited today, man. I've got the honor of bringing on, this guy is a lieutenant in the active duty Navy right now. But he is also the host of the Nonprofit Architect. And this guy right here has been helping me, the Stone Vet USMC, to take my podcast to that next level, right? I always, like I tell you guys, I love hosting a podcast because I get to meet awesome veterans, awesome brothers and sisters that I never would have the opportunity to meet on any other standpoint, in any other platform, right? And being here doing this, I've got the honor of meeting Travis Johnson, who's been doing amazing things in the podcast community. And a lot of people don't really know, right? A lot of people are like, who is Travis Johnson? What does he do? But he is the host of the Nonprofit Architect. And a lot of you guys, we are veterans. And like what Travis told me, man, there's a shitload of veteran nonprofits in this country. A crap ton of them, right? And what I tell people who want to start a nonprofit, I said, have you heard Travis Johnson? Have you heard the Nonprofit Architect? Because on his platform, he brings people that are in the nonprofit world that make a living off of their nonprofits, right? These people, this is how they feed. This is how they put a roof over their head and they feed their families. They run nonprofits every day. And there are successful nonprofits out there. You guys know Wounded Warrior Project, Salvation Army, you know, any nonprofit, they bring in money. They raise money and they bring in money to pay the staff and for donations to ensure that the operation continues functioning. And so I got Travis on here, and I wanted to bring him on because he's like, I'm tired. I'm tired of being the Nonprofit Architect, man. What's going on, Travis? How you doing today?
Man, well, I gotta figure out how to match that energy. You were on fire today. How are you? I mean, I know how you doing.
Absolutely, brother. It's what it's about, man. Because of you, I mean, I'm able to get this platform, the Stone Vet USMC, on multiple platforms to be able to show multiple people who listen to my show from various different areas, regardless of where you're listening in from. You've listened to the Stone Vet YouTube channel, Facebook page, Veteran Trash Talk YouTube channel, Veteran Trash Talk Facebook page, wherever it's out. there's people listening. And so wherever it's coming from, wherever you guys are listening in from, I really do appreciate it. Whether you listen on iTunes, Spotify, freaking Pandora, wherever. I told one guy I'm on Pandora. He's like, really? You're on Pandora? I was like, yeah, I'm on Pandora, man. He's like, oh, I'll definitely listen now. Everybody has their own cup of poison, how they like to listen to podcasts, and I'm just glad that I'm able to provide that here. But like I said, I couldn't have done it without you, Travis, because you're the guy that's leading the way in the podcast industry right now.
Hey, well, I really appreciate the shout out. And, I want to thank you. I've been watching you grow over the last year, and you started as a Facebook only show. Now you're actually on podcasting platforms. Now you're everywhere. Just like you mentioned, iHeartRadio, Pandora, YouTube, about all that stuff. And, giving advice, which is I do on a regular basis. You're like a typical LT telling me what to do. But you're actually doing it. You actually take the advice. You know what? I think this guy might know what he's talking about, and you actually do the damn thing. So I really appreciate you doing the work and not just giving me lip service. Like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. I'll do that. Never. And then you never, like so many people do, right?
Right.
For some reason, we've got this thing that like, oh yeah, don't tell me what to do. Or I was in the military. They told me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. If you can't take advice, feedback, and correction, then you are the problem.
No, absolutely, brother, and it really is, and that's life in general. You know what I'm saying? Especially, I mean, that's my biggest thing. It's like people like veterans, right? We like you said, we were in service, and we're like, I don't want to take fucking advice from anybody anymore. I just want to do it on my own, right? I just want to do it on my own, and it works for a couple of months, and then you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to be doing now? What the hell am I supposed to be doing? Like, I got as far as I could go by myself, right? Mm-hmm. And to be able to be like, who do I reach out to? Who do I ask for assistance? Who knows how to do what I want to do, right? How do I get running a nonprofit, running a podcast? What do I need to do to get to that next level? How do I get more followers? How to get eventually, like I said, I want to be like Joe Rogan. I want to match Joe Rogan. I want to be on the same platform as Joe Rogan. What he gets paid to talk behind a microphone like we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. And I said that's the goal, is to be able to get paid to sit behind a microphone and hang out with everybody that listens in on the show that enjoys listening to what we have to talk about, right?
I just want to build a community. I want to be doing the things and saying the things and having the conversations and meeting the people and then co-creating it together to what's going to look like. It's not my vision. It's our vision. What do we want to build? What do we want to do? You've known me for a while, and you know that I have a huge heart for veterans and I have a huge heart for nonprofits, but I mean, there's some things, there's some things that just get on my nerves. And I wanted to thank you for bringing me on it today so I can address a few of those things.
No, absolutely, brother. I mean, that's one of the things we talk about. So you guys don't know. Like I said, I got Travis Johnson. I got him on speed dial. He's on speed dial. We're on the phone at least once a week talking about various things, how to grow, how do we promote what we're doing, how can we make it a streamline of income, right? How can we do this, right? And Travis, I mean, like I said, he's actually created a course for podcasting that's actually being presented at the Forbes Business University. Is that right, Travis?
Yeah, we've been spending the last year creating it, and it's in the final approval stages at Forbes. And then the company that we partnered with, they've actually brought on Harvard and Stanford. So when this thing gets approved, it's going to be in Harvard, Stanford, and Forbes on day one, which I'm really excited. Was hoping I'd be able to say, yes, you can go there right now, click on it, and get involved and get actual college credits for taking a podcast course. But I can't yet say that today, as it's not yet live. But looking forward to being able to make that announcement. But it was all built upon that ultimate podcast guide that I created this time last year. Was really, you go out and find things, you find little guides and stuff, and you try to implement these things. And I bought something from another veteran in the podcasting space, and I got it. And I was like, bro, you sold me this for $27? Really? This is what I'm getting? And you know the kind of people I hang around with, right? They only let me bellyache for like 2 days, and they're like, well, are you going to make a better one, or are you just going to keep crying about it?
Right.
And I was like, you know what? Point well taken. And I sat down and I spent like 5 weeks over the winter, not just past winter, but the winter before. And I sat down and I put this thing together, and I was pretty proud of it. I put it out for the same FU price of $27 because I didn't like that last guy's guide. Walks you through the how and why to podcast. Like, why is it a thing? How's it going to benefit me? How do I set it up? How do I do these things? And then it goes beyond that. Like, how do I market? How do I build online communities and online relationships, or relationships with people in the podcasting game, people that I want to actually talk to. How do I find great guests? How do I be a great guest? How do I monetize my guest episodes? And then how do I monetize this thing? Like, we've been working on your pitch and making sure that you're talking about Rafa180.com,
right?
Because that's something that you have created that provides real value. That's a real thing. And most of these stores you've got to go to, you actually ship direct to your door, which is phenomenal, but actually putting together the pitch and making sure that you're saying that in your show, like you just did. So proud of you, brother, for actually doing it, taking that action, things like this. But then we give you like a whole stack of templates with a little clickable form. You just rework it to your own stuff, and then you use it on you're good to go. And immediately this thing took off, which was a shock to me, because that's not why I put it together. I didn't put it together to like, I need to create this big thing. I just put it together because like there needs to be a good product out there. And was so, kind of shocked with the feedback that I got. People were like immediately like, where's the course? It's not quite ready yet. Still waiting for that final feedback or approval. And, it's something that they want. And it's like, hey, tweak this or add this here. And then, it'll be good. Just waiting for that feedback. But, been in the nonprofit game for a couple of years. I know we didn't read through the bio or stuff, but I've been on a couple of boards of nonprofits while I've been active duty. I got that military outstanding voluntary service medal. I helped give the startup money for 6 nonprofits. And hey, we raised $500,000 in 2 years. And I know some of y'all listening are part of nonprofits, and you do work and you do good things. And you're like, $500,000 in 2 years. We've been doing this for 10 years and haven't had $500,000 yet. I'm with you. I understand your pain. I feel you. I was over in Bahrain, and I started the show, the Nonprofit Architect Podcast, because I wanted to keep contributing to the nonprofit world, but knew that I didn't know everything. So I brought on nonprofit leaders, business leaders, consultants, people with special skills to help nonprofits do it better. And we've been doing it for, 2.5 years. We got more than 120. I think we're closing to 130 episodes published. Juan's got more coming out than I do. He's doing Juan's got like 3, 4, 5, 10 episodes a week coming out, I swear.
You're right.
Like he's got more published shows than I do.
4 times. I ain't no Richard Kaufman yet, but I mean, I've got him coming out 4 times a week. I got new episodes.
Yeah,
4 times
Richard
a week, so.
runs a great show. I think it's like a daily show now, Vertical Momentum.
Yeah, it's daily now. I think it's Monday through Friday.
He's doing. He's like 5,000 downloads away from hitting 200,000. I'm just so proud of the work that he's doing.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's doing awesome work over there, man. But yeah, I mean, with what you're talking about, the nonprofit, I mean, that's one of the biggest struggles, dude. Like you said, you're like, in 2 years we hit $500,000, and you guys that are listening in, man, you guys know there are veteran nonprofits everywhere. What were you telling me the numbers were the last time you saw, Travis?
Depending on where you look, you're going to see numbers that say somewhere between 45,000 and 53,000 different veteran nonprofits. On one side of that, you think this is great. There's so many people that care, which I agree with. But that also tells me that, like, let's say there's 53,000. 50,000 of you all aren't working together. 50,000 of y'all or more are repeating services that the guy across town is doing, but because somehow we're veterans and we don't trust each other, like you're not going to work together, which is just insane to me. You spend all your time in the military in a division or on a fire team or on a ship or wherever you're at together, doing things together, but you get in the nonprofit world and you're like, I want to start my own show. Is it about you? Is this your ego talking? Is this scarcity? What is this? Right. I don't understand this thing. I love you all to death, but no one can pick up the phone for another group, and it kills me. It kills me that you're all not working together.
No, you're right, dude. You're absolutely right, brother. Because I mean, one of the biggest things you pitch is like, if somebody came to me and said they want to start a nonprofit, you're like, don't do it. Don't start one. Go help one. Go find one in your area and help them, right?
Yes. There's a really quick, like 4 steps you want to look at if you have the heart and the desire to go start a nonprofit. There's ways to do this. Go figure out who in your area is doing what you're doing, or what you want to do, or serving the same kind of people you want to do, and figure out how you can pitch in. And the reason I say that is it is a huge pain to start a nonprofit. You got to get a board together. You got to write out all the bylaws. You got to file your 50. You got to register as a nonprofit. And depending on what state you're in, Like California is insane. They got like 35 things you got to do. Oklahoma ain't too bad where we're at, but they still got, between 5 and 35 steps of things you got to do, fill out, apply for, pay for up front. And then after all of that stuff, you still got to file with the IRS to make you a 501c3. Right?
Right.
So avoid all that stuff up front. Figure out if you can find a way to help out the people that you want to help in your area already. Chances are, with 53,000 organizations, that's, on average, that's more than 1,000 groups per state. Come on, y'all. 1,000 groups per state. There's 1,000 groups per state. There's someone doing something that you want to do, whether it's helping homeless vets, whether it's getting people in contact with the VA and getting services, whether it's getting someone connected to mental health services, people taking people on fishing or hunting trips. Like, someone's already doing it.
Right.
Go figure out how you can contribute. See what it takes for this organization to run, so you know what a big pain it is. So you understand how hard it is to do these things. And then, understand like how you could fit into a group like that, right? Because there's going to be something that you can do to contribute. See if you can actually help them out. See if you can contribute to those organizations. If you can't find space with them, you got to determine, what the focus of your organization is going to be and really how it's different, right? I'm not going to start another business like Amazon right now. I'm not,
Right. No.
right? I'm not making the next Amazon because I know what Amazon does. I know what they do. I don't know how mine would be different. You have to know how it's going to be different.
Right.
I've done an episode with Candace Leos, who's from Foster 360. She's doing amazing work. She's in the business world, and she has a heart for foster kids. I was in 5 different foster homes growing up. So I'm like, yeah, let's help, foster kids. And she's like, I looked around. She's kind of in the Phoenix, Mesa, Tempe, Arizona area. And she's like, I want to help these kids aging out of the foster care system. I was like, that's fabulous. Like, what did you do? She's like, well, I went out and I saw that. I didn't know this ahead of time, but I went out and looked, and it turned out that there were tons of services already helping the people that I wanted to help. I was like, okay, well, what did you do? She's like, I went around and I found out what each of them did. And I tried to see where the holes were. Where's the gap in the system? What is missing that we can add value to instead of just copy someone else and maybe steal some donors away. It's not about competition. It's about really helping the individual or the group, right? So she found out that these now newly minted adults were kind of being treated like the foster care system, right? They went to this service, and if they couldn't help them, they would just get passed off to this other one, like a relay race, get the baton passed around, just like they were in foster care, bouncing around to different houses and all over the place.
Right.
And she was like, that's where I can step in. So she built a mentorship program where they pair up a newly minted adult with someone that can help them navigate the system. And then they carry them, hand walk them through all the different things that they might need, staying with the individual and moving forward. And she also did another cool thing, because you can go under the United Way, under their umbrella, their nonprofit umbrella, and create your own service without having to start your own nonprofit.
That's
so
crazy.
She saved most of the paperwork, most of the startup fees, and she found a way to really add value to the community that she cared about. But she had to do a little bit of research.
And that's the thing, though. Like, she's actually raising money too, though. It's not just a nonprofit running around fucking using the paychecks from her going to work every day and using the money she earns to throw into it, right? Like, she's actually raising funding. And I mean, and I know that's probably the biggest, hardest thing to do is raise funding for a nonprofit, right?
It's hard. It's definitely difficult. But you know what's harder than that? Not taking care of your own household before you start doing that.
Right.
There's people out there that all they get is a disability check from the military. They can barely take care of their own household, and they're trying to start this thing. It's great that you have a heart to help. Go volunteer with someone. Go try to get hired on someone else's staff. If you can't hardly take care of your own self with your own income, don't go try to start an organization, please, dear God. It takes thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars to do these things. And if you're trying to do it without collecting a paycheck because you think it's noble, it's not noble. It's self-sacrifice.
It really is.
if you're trying to make this massive impact and this huge difference in these people's lives, but you're not filling up your own cup, how long before that cup goes dry and cracks and breaks down because what you've created is not sustainable? I talk to nonprofit founders that I have to wait till 5 p.m. after they get off work to try to help them with their thing because that's the only time they have time. And it's great that they want to do that, but they refuse to pay themselves from the nonprofit. Like, oh yeah, it's voluntary. You shouldn't get paid. I was like, didn't you volunteer for the military? Didn't they pay you?
Right. And no, that's one of the biggest things, right? So here in Oklahoma, we just had a big major snowstorm that came through. I think we got close between 6 to 8 inches here in the city, right? Travis, it was a good amount. It's a substantial amount, right?
I just watched the wife and kids shovel the driveway. It's like, I'm so glad I got kids now. I ain't got to do it.
Right. Absolutely. No. And the biggest thing is like, so they opened up the Salvation Army and the, what the hell's the other nonprofit here? The Oklahoma City. No, it's the Oklahoma City something. I can't remember. It's another nonprofit. So they opened up a couple of shelters to keep people out of the cold, right? Because I mean, right now they said like tonight it's supposed to get down to like -7 tonight. Feel like temperatures tonight. And one of the biggest things I was watching, I told my wife, I looked at my wife and I said, you know what's crazy is that these are nonprofits. The Salvation Army is a nonprofit. The Oklahoma City chapter here, it's a nonprofit. But I said the people who sit on the board, they get paid, right? They bring in a salary. It may not be fucking Wounded Warrior money, $100,000 a year.
Well, so just to be clear, the people on a board don't get paid,
or not the board, but you know what I mean. But the people
the executive
who work
director, all the staff, right?
Yeah, the staff, right?
There's definitely a huge cadre of paid people.
Yeah, they're getting paid.
Yeah, they're getting paid. There's some veteran-based nonprofits that have earned a lot of money and they misspent their money and they got some negative press. Okay,
right?
They messed up. Don't take that as a hint that says that you shouldn't pay yourself.
Right.
We've got a mutual friend in town, runs a nonprofit, does great things, but there's some things that he does that really burned me. One of them is he doesn't pay himself. He hasn't generated the income to pay himself. And why is that bad? Why is that bad is because now he has to take some time away from the nonprofit and the veterans he wants to help because he's got to go earn a paycheck. And that takes between 30 and 60 hours a week of his time away from helping the veterans. Yeah. If he was generating the income that he needed to collect the paycheck he needed, then he could be devoting that 30 to 60 hours to veterans instead.
Yeah.
He had to shut down last year and he was tired. He was beat up. He wasn't getting the kind of support that he wanted. And he said he was going to take a break. I said, great, brother. That's fantastic. You've got to be able to take care of you first. You've got to make sure that you're in a place where you're able to give. And then he called me a few months later, says he wants to start it back up. I said, that's fantastic, man. What are you going to do differently so you don't end up in the same place where you're feeling beat up and wore down? He's like, we're not going to change nothing. And I'm like, oh, come on, man. Come on.
You didn't learn? And the sad part is he's a veteran and he knows better, right? Like he knows how to make it better. Like this is what we do is fix shit, right?
Everything we do in the military is like 85 to 95% of the time we're training, we're getting qualified, we're doing safety, we're doing all these things. And a small portion of our military service is actually executing. But for some reason, we get into nonprofits and we feel like we just have to execute every day. I was like, hey, man, what's the last 2 or 3 books you read on nonprofit work? Well, I haven't read any. Okay, I understand. You ain't got time to read. Tell me about the podcasts that you listen to that teach you how to do this stuff. Well, I don't listen to any of those either, man. So you're just out here winging it when there is, even if you don't listen to my show, there's hundreds of other nonprofit dedicated shows. There's nonprofit material and books. There's college courses dedicated to teaching you how to do this. I was like, do you even have a mentor in the space? No. What are you doing? You're wasting all this time, energy, and effort with your head against the wall because you haven't taken 10 minutes to learn. And if you do have a staff or do have a volunteer corps, are you even training them to help you?
And
well, how can you? You don't even know what the heck you're doing.
A lot of people are like that. They're like, well, I'm not going to train anybody to do what I do because I'm the only one that can do it. And you're like, why?
What kind of ego is that? That's the ego speaking, right?
No, absolutely.
If I can take 5 people and get them on board, right, they're going to be different levels, right? Some of them are going to be little gemstone. Some of them might be a little bit more expensive, but you're going to find that diamond here or there that you can really bring up to that level. But if I don't give them any training, if I don't give them any mentorship, how am I going to find out if any of them can help me do it? When I was junior enlisted guy in the military, like I wanted to get those quals, I wanted to get that standing, get that thing off, get that monkey off my back, and I can get, promoted so I can get some more money in my pocket. But when you get there and you get those qualifications, you're like, man, this is a lot of work now. I got to do, I'm responsible for all this stuff. I got 10 of you all here not qualified. I'm going to get you qualified, not because it helps the community, because I want to make my big shit sandwich that I eat. I want to take a smaller bite. I want everyone else to have a little bit of bite. I want people to take some of that workload off of me. And what do is I help create those other leaders that are going to be able to help multiply what it is that I'm doing in the nonprofit world. If I was advocating for veterans and I really knew how to do it and I didn't train anyone else to do it, is it just about me? Is it the Travis show? Right. Or is it about helping veterans? If it's about helping veterans and I can train 4 more people to do it, that way, if I'm sick and I can't answer the phone, I got someone I can call. Right. Or if that guy's on vacation because he's earned it and I got 3 more guys behind them that can take that call and make that happen, why wouldn't I do that? Is it all about me? Is it about helping people? I worked with a gal that was feeding people in Oklahoma, feeding the homeless in Oklahoma City. Fantastic. That's great. She got sick and she's like, yeah, I can't go out this week. I was like, you've got those 2 volunteers, right? Have you trained them how to make the meals and go buy the groceries and do the stuff and coordinate with the people for handout? And she's like, no. I was like, so you literally have people not eating today because you don't feel well? Right. What kind of sense does that make?
And it's sad because that's how a lot of nonprofits are. You know it. I mean, being in the nonprofit world, you've met a lot of people who run nonprofits. Like I've even sent you a lot of people. A lot of people like, oh, I'm trying to run. I said, I got somebody that can help you, right? I got somebody. Yeah. Like, and the great part is like Travis has, like he said, he has over like 120 episodes, and it's not just opinions. These are people who do this every single day that you bring on people who do this. This is their expertise. This is what they've done for years. They put a roof over their head and they're feeding their families. For decades, right?
I've got 30 years of experience. I do this thing with fundraising. My show is a how-to show. They teach you how to do it. And if you have questions, their contact info is right there to ask them directly. But you won't even listen to the episode you need help with.
It's crazy.
I don't know why. But there's people that are doing it well. There's people that are doing it exceptionally well. And the people that are doing really well are doing a couple of things. They're actually planning out how some of this works. They're actually leveraging their team. Their board members are working. They're getting volunteers. Eventually, the ones that are doing well are working towards paid staff members. If I'm donating, and I've donated to tons of organizations, and you tell me that you're approaching me and you're coming up and you're telling me you're doing it alone and you're not taking a paycheck, I'm not going to donate with you because if you get tired and worn out, which is very, very, very likely, where does my money go? My money then has to go to some other nonprofit because you shut your doors. I don't know them. I'm not supporting them. Right. If I'm investing my money into you helping me achieve our vision together, I'm investing in you. And if you're not paying yourself, and yes, I realize that paid staff can leave too, right? But if you're not paying yourself a paycheck, then I don't think that you're all in. Why would I give you my money? There's people out there doing great things. Like Eric Ranks runs the Veteran Connection. He's doing fantastic stuff. He's in another call. I talk with him every week. He's developing products and things. He's got a vodka brand. He's got a coffee brand. And he's talking to Kroger right now to get it on the shelves in Kroger. And the reason Kroger took his call is not because they need another damn coffee company. It's because a portion of every single sale directly benefits with cash money a veteran nonprofit. So by selling the coffee and promoting that every sale goes to a nonprofit, Flags of Honor does this. You see Flags of Honor beer, Flags of Honor napkins. It's like Spaceballs
and everything, right?
Spaceballs, the cereal, Spaceballs, right? They're partnering with these people because there's direct money going to a nonprofit, and that's why they're saying yes. There's people like Not Your Average Joe's Coffee Shop in Oklahoma City. There's people with developmental disabilities, people with Down syndrome, people on the autism spectrum, and they're having people come in and working side by side with them because they're very capable people. But the coffee shop is generating revenue, which is fueling the programs for the nonprofit. They are a nonprofit business using for-profit strategies to create a recurring revenue.
And that's what's great about Veteran Trash Talk, and a lot of people don't know that. So Veteran Trash Talk, they're like, we are a for-profit company because our for-profit company helps nonprofits. The revenue that we bring in from our shirts, our products that we sell, that money goes to a veteran nonprofit, right? Like you're saying, right?
Yeah.
It's revenue. It's bringing in revenue to help a nonprofit, right? It's a for-profit company to help a nonprofit company.
Now, let me ask you something, Juan. I'm asking you a question I know the answer to. Where'd you get that sweet mug and that fabulous
like
sweatshirt?
that? You know, I got Ginger and David over at Really Designs. You guys see it. Look at that. Ginger and David over at Really Designs. And they, like I said, this is great content, great products. I mean, like I tell you guys, you go over to Rafa 180, you go up to his top right corner, it got the Stone Vet. It's got my own store. You can get your great swag and great gear. But I know they're doing amazing. Ginger and David doing amazing things over there, man.
They're doing fantastic. So here's the deal, right? You're a nonprofit listening to this. You're half cocked because you think that I'm personally attacking you for all the things that I think you're doing wrong, right? There's people in the nonprofit world that don't make any money. They do amazing things, but it's maybe 1 out of 1,000 organizations that works.
Right.
999 of them are effing struggling. They hate their life. They want to do better, but they're not bringing
Every day, like, how do I bring in money? I'm not bringing in any money. How do I do this, right?
Here's the deal. You go to reallydesigns.biz. You hop on their calendar. You talk to Ginger. You figure out a product like that sweatshirt or that mug, right? I think they have a small setup fee right now, right? Like any other design company.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it's nothing substantial. It's nothing crazy.
I want to say it's under $100. I don't know. But here's the deal. They'll create your products for you, and then you download my free guide. You go to my Linktree, Nonprofit Architect Linktree, and you'll see how to generate recurring revenue. And you can go on if you go to Nonprofit Architect /blog, I've got a solo show where I talk about how to generate recurring revenue or how to turn your social media followers into recurring revenue. You go to Ginger and David, you set up a product, something like a t-shirt, maybe a hoodie like Juan's got, and you say, hey, if you sign up for $25 a month to keep us running, to help us do A, B, and C, we're going to give you a free t-shirt, right? The first month that comes in, that money hits your account. You as the nonprofit, you go and you order the t-shirt. They don't have a minimum buy. You don't have to buy 1,000 of these and stack them up in the garage. You can sell one. They take the money, they create the product, they package it, they ship it, and then they give you the agreed upon benefit. You're like, well, how much am I going to make? Don't worry about month one. Month one, it doesn't matter.
Garbage. It's going to go down the hole.
Month 2 happens, right? They collect recurring payment, recurring donation on PayPal or whatever you use. And then month number 2, the t-shirt went out last month. Month number 2, that money comes in, that $25 a month, and you have to do any work with them. Hey, thank you so much. I received your recurring donation. Here's what we've done this month with donors like you, right? So I've had organizations that'll do this. They've got like 2,000 people in their Facebook group, which is not nothing, but it's not substantial. And they'll put out a post like this. It says, hey, we're doing great work, but hey, we're still struggling. We need more financial support. This is where I want to be with your donations. If you sign up for $20 a month, we'll give you this free t-shirt. You can pick from one of these sizes. As long as you sign up by Valentine's Day, right? We'll send you out this great shirt. You can look great and support a great cause at the same time. And then something like $20 or $25 a month. No one budgets that, right? No one cares.
Right. Yeah.
The money's going to keep coming out every month. They get a great t-shirt. They help a great cause that they care about. And she had 100 people say yes. Well, 100 people saying yes to $20 a month. That's $2,000 a month in recurring revenue each and every month. That next month, you don't have to go out and figure out how to get.
Ain't that crazy, dude?
Ain't that crazy?
So if your budget, the thing, though.
If your budget is $12,000 a month, right? I've got to make $12,000 a month. And if you've been in recruiting, and I know some of y'all been in recruiting, you know you got 36 1-month tours because every month it starts all over, right? Here's the deal. In nonprofits with recurring revenue, just like the model I talked about, which other than the setup fee, the setup fee is free to do. Other than that setup fee of I don't know. I don't want to put words.
Say it's $100. Say it's $100 to set up.
Say it's
$100.
$100 one-time fee. I don't know what the fee is. Let's just say that's what it is.
Yeah.
You never have another upfront fee. You just have to promote the stuff.
That's it. You just got to promote it and push it.
They do all the work. They ship it. And then, hey, at the end of the month, they send you all the money that you've agreed to, your portion of the whatever, right? But then the next month, if they click recurring donations, let's say I convince $1,000 worth of recurring revenue this month. I figure out how to do it. Next month, instead of having to raise that 12 grand, I've only got to figure out 11 grand because 1,000 of that's on repeat.
Right.
If I figure out how to do another 1,000, a month number 2, 2,000's coming in. I only got to figure out 10. And if you do that every month, you figure out how to get a new $1,000 recurring. By this time next year, you've got 12 grand a month coming in automatically, and you don't have to fundraise ever again if you don't want to.
Right.
Your income's automated. Your bills are paid. You can actually enjoy being around the people that you're trying to help.
Right. No, absolutely. And that's the biggest thing, guys. That's the biggest thing. You guys that are listening in today, I mean, this is what it's about, especially if you work in a nonprofit industry or you run your own nonprofit. You guys understand that's one of the biggest struggles is funding. How do I get funding to be able to go take these people fishing, go take these people hunting, go take them to a movie, or just have an event where we have a barbecue and we have a live concert, somebody coming in and do a live concert for us, right? And being able to do this. I mean, this is one of the biggest things is funding, right? That's life in general. Life in general. How do I make money, right? Even in a non-profit, even in just the regular podcasting world, it's like, I need to make money. How do I make money? We create swag, right? We create all the swag that we need. How do I bring in money? And it's like Travis is saying, Travis is a smart man. You guys listening to him talk, you're just like, he's a podcaster. You can listen to it. It's in his voice. He's a podcaster. He makes you believe in yourself and believe that you can do this, because that's what it's about. It's understanding, like he's saying. He said, how great would it be to be a nonprofit to have $12,000 coming in every month? How much easier would your nonprofit be? Automatically. Like, you don't even have to go out and get it. It's automatically coming into your account every month. 1 May, 1 April, 1 May, 1 June, 1 July is 12,000, 12,000, 12. How much easier would it be for you to run your nonprofit, right?
If you can do this, right, and people do this successfully every day.
Every day.
If you can do this in your organization, you can stop having fundraisers and start having friend raisers. You can just start throwing parties and say, hey, look at all the great stuff we do. Well, hey, I want to give you money. Can I give you money? You can. Absolutely. I will take it.
Absolutely.
Were you not going to ask for money? No. We're funded.
I'm bringing in $12,000 a month, dude.
Look, I'll take your money. But we're here to have a good time and party, and you're not stressed out about how am I going to make the pitch? How am I going to do all these things? It's done. You're on recurring. You can raise more if you like. You can hire people to help you when you have recurring. You don't have to do it alone.
Right.
You don't have to do it alone.
You don't have to do it alone, which makes it great. And that's the biggest thing, you know what I'm saying? That's why I love what Travis do. Travis has been in the podcast industry for some time, and like I said, his main specialty is nonprofits. How do I help nonprofits grow? And like, if you guys are listening in, if you guys are in the nonprofit industry, or you're helping nonprofits, or you're running your own nonprofit, go check out the Nonprofit Architect, dude. Like I'm telling you, he's got over 120 episodes, and the people he brings on his shows, he's like Joe Rogan, dude. These are people who specialize in this stuff. These aren't just people's opinions. These are people who do this. This is their job. This is what they do for a living. They are making a living running nonprofits, and a lot of you guys, that's how you guys want to be. You guys want to make a living because you guys, that's our passion as veterans, to help people, help as many people as we can. But we can't do it if we don't have the funding. If we don't have the funding, we can't help people.
Yeah, you know? we were joking. We were joking before we started. I was ranting a little bit earlier. Like, let's say your goal is to help homeless vets. Let's say that's 10 million people. I know it's not. Let's just say whatever you're trying to do, you're trying to help 10 million people. If you figure out how to do it cheap, let's say it takes you $1 a person, you still got to raise $10 million. Right? You still got to raise $10 million. And if you figure out how to magically do it for just a penny a person, you still got to raise $100,000, right? It takes money to create this impact. You've got to be able to take care of your house and your family first. You have to do it. I had an interview earlier today. A guy that's friends with Richard Branson has been to his island. He's like that show is just going to be legit. But he says, he's like, you can't do good unless you can first take care of yourself.
Right. And it's true.
It takes money to do good. He's got the Virgin Unite, Richard Branson's Virgin everything. Virgin Unite is his foundation. He charges $250,000 to go speak, and 100% of that gets donated to Virgin Unite. He does things. He makes people pay, and it goes directly into the nonprofit organization. It takes money to make an impact. Not paying yourself doesn't make you a hero. It makes you a martyr. It's self-sacrificing. It's not heroic. Stop doing it. Please stop doing it. Because every time you go out and ask for money, we're just counting down. The rest of us are just counting down till how many weeks from now are you going to close your doors because you're wore out? How are you making it sustainable? One of the questions I get asked a lot is, well, how do I contribute to nonprofits? Find something in your local area that you care about. Please, dear God, pick a dollar amount, 10, 20, $50 a month. Set it up recurring. Be a pal. Set it up recurring for those and let it go.
Right.
Your life will change when you start giving. Your interaction with money will change from this to this when you start giving. It'll be open-handed.
We would like to give a huge thanks to Rafa 180. Rafa 180 offers pure medicinal CBD and products made locally. They walk alongside individuals to achieve a healthy lifestyle with options needed by each person. You can learn more about them on Facebook at Rafa CBD, their website www.rafa180.com, or email at rafacbd@gmail.com. They truly believe your journey matters.
You will understand that you're able to give. Some of us have so much to give. Sometimes we're not able to physically, or sometimes we're not able to because of mental health reasons, mental fitness, PTSD getting us down. That happens. Find a way to help financially. Find a way to help them write letters to their donors saying thank you. There's so many different ways to contribute to all that is. And we're actually helping create a pretty big ecosystem for veterans specifically with HAVE, the Humble Alpha Veteran Empowerment. Have you heard about this one? Have I shared this with you?
Yeah, you shared it with me. I think I'm part of the group. I've been listening in. There's a big movement going with the HAVE. I know that there's a massive movement going.
Huge, and they're the first. They're coming out with HAVE, Humble Alpha Veteran Empowerment NFTs. People are like, "Oh, NFTs. I'm not listening to this stuff." Look, if you could go back 10 years and spend the 20 minutes to 2 hours to actually learn about Bitcoin, you'd have been, I'm so glad I learned about Bitcoin and got in on the train earlier. This is where we're at with NFTs. And there's HAVE NFT Discord channel where they do live chats almost daily teaching you about NFTs, how it's helping in building the ecosystem, and then what that looks like for the veteran community. So it's the first NFT to directly benefit veteran nonprofits, which despite how I might have sounded today, I really care about. I'm so fired up because I want everyone to do better. This first NFT drop is 5 different Marine Corps Bulldogs. The next one I think is going to be, Air Force, then going to be Navy, and then going to be Army, different NFTs. When people buy these NFTs, they're partnering with 25 nonprofits, specifically that get, no kidding, cash payouts directly as being part of this NFT ecosystem. So the money that's coming in and the money that's generated is directly putting money into veteran nonprofit pockets. We're going to have links and stuff to the show that Juan's going to put together. We're going to have the link where you can go sign up as the nonprofit directly to get the benefit of this. But don't just take the benefit. Get in the group, learn about this stuff, and don't let the NFT train pass you like the Bitcoin train passed you in the last 10 years. I'm guilty of it. I was trying to get quals and stuff in the Navy. I was like, oh, this is more important. I made the mistake myself. But you have to be able to take some time and learn about some of this stuff. It's going to revolutionize the way everything happens in the world. And you might as well get on the ground floor, and you might as well get in with a veteran organization that's actually creating an ecosystem far beyond just a pretty picture.
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely. So, there's a lot of great things, man. Like, I got to tell you guys, this is why I love doing this podcast. This is why I love doing the Stone Vet USMC, because I get to bring on great, amazing guests like Travis Johnson here for this week, this hump day, getting you over the hump. You know, like I say, I'm hoping this can enlighten you and be like, bring some light to your day to be like, huh, I know somebody. I got my buddy runs a nonprofit. He needs to listen to this episode. You know what I'm saying? He needs to listen to this episode. He needs to listen to Travis Johnson. I wonder if he even knows who Travis Johnson is, you know? And that's what it's about, is being able to host amazing guests, right? Like I said, I've met some amazing people I would have never met any other opportunity if I didn't have a show, because people like coming on podcasts. People like talking, right? People like talking to each other. This is why I do it. Like I said, it's my therapy session to be able to hang out with you, Travis, and just everybody that I get to bring on the show. I get to hang out. It's my therapy session for the week, you know? And I truly enjoy it, able to do this and hang out and share your content, Travis. 'Cause like I said, you big time, man. Travis is big time, dude. He's got thousands of downloads. He's doing it, you know? And like I said, he's already created. If you are in the podcast industry, reach out to Travis Johnson. On my channel, I don't know about Veteran Trash Talk. I don't know if they'll put all in the description or anything, but if you come over to Stone Vet USMC, I'll have his whole description I'll have everything in the description box. So you know how to reach out to Travis Johnson. You can know how to find him. His link tree will be in there. His link tree has freaking so many different categories. You just click on one of them and you'll get there, dude. You'll get there. You'll get Travis Johnson. And he's a good guy to talk to. He'll get in contact with you. He'll talk with you one-on-one and say, hey, this is what I can do. You know, so Travis, I really do appreciate it, man. It's the end of the show. Tell people how do you want to leave people off with so they're not mad at you, man.
Well, first off, I'm not in charge of your feelings. You've chosen to be mad at me or not mad at me. We're talking the other day about opinions and people getting upset about opinions. And you know, if you describe yourself as whatever point in the day as I am sad, you're identifying as sad. But if you say I feel sad, it means you are you and you have this feeling, and it's not identifying as you. And so many times we get into situations where we really are on board with something. It could be your military service. You could say, I am a soldier, I am a sailor. You could say, I am gay, I am a Christian, I am whatever, right? If you're identifying as something or whatever it is, and that's your identity, and someone has an opinion that violates your identity, you're going to get upset, pissed. You're going to get offended or whatever else, right? People are going to have opinions. Most opinions suck. Most opinions are not aligned with you, but that's all there are opinions. It's my point of view of where I think some rough spots are in the veteran nonprofit world right now, and really the nonprofit world at large. But I don't know if you know this, but most insurance companies are nonprofit. So like Delta Dental is a nonprofit, but you pay for everything you do with Delta Dental. You pay for a premium. You have copays. Their CEO makes $22 million a year. No one's crucifying him on the news for making $22 million a year. No one gives a rip.
Nonprofit owner.
You don't want to charge for your services, and you don't want to get paid. Dude's making $22 million a year. No one cares.
No one cares.
Right? Right?
So fucked up.
But
it is. It's messed up, dude. And that's one of the biggest things. You know, and you know it. Like, there's a lot of people who run nonprofits and say, I don't want to take a salary. And you're like, why? Like,
why
wouldn't
you want to pay minimum wage, right? Do you want to bring Emmitt Smith out of retirement, try to win the Super Bowl with him, try to pay him league minimum to win?
Right.
You're not going to win. You're not going to win. Your league minimum players are not going to get you there.
Right.
There's all these numbers, right? You can go to GuyStar, you can go to Cherry Navigator, you can go all these places. They can tell you where the money's going. You know what it doesn't tell you? It doesn't tell you how effective their programs are.
Right.
It doesn't tell you that the guy that they had on board that they were paying $150,000 a year was bringing in $60 million a year in income. But because your spending is out of whack, you had to fire him, bring on a guy making $50,000 a year, and your funding went from $6 million down to $2 million. So that $100,000 decision cost you $4 million. Right?
No, you're right. You're right.
The CEO of Disney brings in millions upon millions, if not billions of dollars. They pay him millions of dollars a year. When we are doing things for free, we're saying, I'm not saying like, hey man, I'll have a conversation with you for 20 minutes. That's different than saying, I'm not going to charge you my prices because you're a nonprofit. When you get something for free, it almost has no value. Like I've got this podcast guide, right? And I could give it to you. And you'd be like, thanks, man. It's free. You won't open that thing. You won't read it. And if you do, you're going to ignore the advice because you didn't pay for it.
Right. No, absolutely.
It's not about the price tag. It's about the value and the commitment. Right. Juan's in my private podcast mastermind group. Juan pays me every month to help him work through some of these problems, not because I need the money, but because I need the commitment from Juan to show up, to lay it out on the table, to be open and honest and transparent, and to say, hey, and here's where I'm doing well. Here's where I'm struggling, man. What do I need to know? Here's what you can hold me accountable for next week so I can get a little bit closer to my goal. Right. Because he's paying me and I'm obligated to then deliver my services. I'm delivering the value to him, right? The bang is worth the buck. And this isn't a pitch for my group. Get in my group, don't get in my group, whatever, right? But so many times in nonprofits, like, oh, you should give it to me free because I'm a nonprofit. You and everyone else that calls me is a nonprofit. Where's the budget in your line items from your board that says you can afford a consultant? You don't have one? You must not care about it.
Right.
I have how many hundreds of episodes where I interview experts all over the place that can tell you exactly how to do these things, but you won't even click on the free episode to download and listen to it. You won't spend the 20 minutes it takes to revolutionize your life. Right? Why am I going to give you my time for free? Right. If you think it should be free because you're a nonprofit. Oh, I can't pay myself because I'm being noble. Bullshit. You are lying to yourself. Your ego is talking. You don't want to train anyone else to do what you do. Your ego is talking. Are you the hero? Or are we actually solving the problem? Is this about putting your name up in license? Like, oh, look all the great stuff I did. Or is it about actually solving the problem? And if it's not about solving the problem, I can't help you.
Right.
No one can help you. You're not interested in getting help. You're interested in staying the same and getting self-promoted and doing those things. And some of these people right now, some of these people are burning mad at me right now listening to this. I'm perfectly okay with you being mad at me.
It's fine.
If that's what
it's the truth, though. That's the biggest thing is that us as veterans, sometimes we got to get smacked in the face to wake up, to be like, well, shit, I do need to do something different. I need to do something different, right?
Yeah, you can be mad, you're going to bitch, holler, and moan, and you're going to freak out. And then 2 days later, you'll be like, hey, man, my bad.
Right.
How can we fix this? I want to be on your team, but you got to be willing to have a team. You got to be willing to work together. Oh my God, we work together with everyone in the military, and we get out and suddenly don't want to work together. Come on,
right?
Nonprofit or not,
50,000 over 50,000 nonprofits in the
work
States
together. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if even 10%, if 5,300 of those organizations were working together? Do you think we'd have the crisis we have for veterans right now?
No, not at all. Not at all.
If you listen to me talk about NFTs and the group that's being built and being cultivated and you don't get involved, come on.
Right.
Does it have to be your name on the title in order for you to pitch in? Well, how's the money going to go? Am I get my 3 nickels? They got 4 nickels. Why do they get 4 nickels? I want my 4 nickels.
Right. It's about helping each other. That's why people start the nonprofits, is helping people, right?
It's about community. It's about doing this thing together. It's about providing value. It's about being the CEO of your life.
Right.
No drill sergeant's going to kick in your door and make you clean your room. Get up and clean your damn room.
Right.
No one's going to come kick in your door and say, get up and go out to work. No one's going to kick in your door and say, hey man, take these benefits. And by the way, if you're not getting benefits right now, you're wrong. Apply for the benefits, getting the benefits. You getting benefits doesn't mean someone else doesn't get them.
Right.
Everyone gets the benefits. There's a gigantic line item in the budget from Congress that says, here's the billions of dollars set aside to help veterans, and you're not going to take something that you have earned. Well, I don't have it as bad as someone else. It doesn't matter if you have it as bad as someone else. You can always find someone that's worse off than you. You can always find someone that's better off than you. Right? Jeff Bezos went to the damn moon, right? And there's someone that he's looking around and he's jealous of some aspect of their life.
Right. Yeah, he's jealous of something.
Stop it. Stop comparing. Take the help that you need to move forward in your life, to build the life that you want to live, whether you are in the nonprofit world, not in the nonprofit world. Be the CEO of your damn life.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. And that's what we got to be, guys. That's what we got to be. And like I said, this is why I like doing the show, because a lot of times it's a wake-up call. What are you doing? How are you being the CEO of your own life? You got a job and you hate going in every day. You hate punching the clock every day. What are you going to do to change that so where you don't have to punch the clock every day, right? How are you bringing in multiple streams of income? That's the biggest thing, right? A lot of people are doing amazing things. Like I said, if you looked at my episodes last year, everybody I brought on my show last year, they're all entrepreneurs, venturepreneurs. They all started their own business because they said, I'm not punching the clock for somebody else, because they're becoming their own CEO, right? How do you bring in multiple streams of income? You guys have to figure it out. What is it that you want to do? How is it that you want to do it, right? People are doing it every day. I think they said last year when COVID happened, more people became millionaires sitting at home during COVID than they did going to work every single day. You know
why?
Why is that?
Because the millionaires and billionaires aren't old money. The vast majority of billionaires, there's some, right? That's old money. The majority are first generation billionaires. They did it.
Right.
The vast majority of millionaires are first generation. It's like 16%.
Right.
That are old money, which means 84%
are new.
84%.
These are young people.
More than 4 out of 5 people did it on their own in their own lifetime.
Right. And these are young people that are millionaires. These are freaking 20, 30-year-old people.
I saw a 23-year-old that made $300 million selling NFTs, and you don't want to take the 20 minutes to learn about them?
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely, brother. And this is what it is. Like you said, you have to be your own CEO. How are you going to ensure that you bring in funding to be able to live the life that you want to live? Do you want to work somewhere for the rest of your life, and hopefully when your retirement comes around that you got enough money, you were able to save enough money to retire? Or do you want to be able to live the life that you want? You want to travel. You want to just sit back, relax, roll a fat blunt, and just say, screw it. I ain't going to do nothing all day. I'm not going to do anything all day. I'm just going to sit here and smoke all day because my bills are paid and I have nothing else to worry about.
You know, what's funny is Juan was giving me a hard time right before we hopped on because I had nothing on my schedule today. And this is like my 4th call. I've just randomly hopped on. He's like, man, you be busy all the time. Yes, I'm busy building the life that I want to live.
Absolutely. And that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
We're supposed to become our own CEOs. We're supposed to build the life that we want to live, that we want, right? Because we're out of service now. Where is it? Sergeant G ain't telling you what to do anymore. Lieutenant Johnson ain't telling you, hey, this has to be done today, right? It is you. You're your own boss now. You're your own CEO. What needs to be done in order to bring in money, right? I think they said, you got to make $3,000 a week to become a millionaire. Is that right, Travis? I think the numbers are right. $3,000 a week.
I had to look at that. But here's the deal, right? If you're the CEO of your own life and you had to report to a board, right, of 10 people, would that board do a review and say, we're going to keep paying you the same amount of money? Are they going to give you a raise? Are they going to cut your pay? Or are they going to fire you? Be honest with yourself. What would a board looking at you as the CEO, what would they say right now? Would they say, you're crushing it, great job? What resources can we need to push you up higher? Or are they going to say like, hey, Juan, what the heck?
You suck, and we're going to fire you.
Showing up high to work every day?
Right, man. Absolutely, brother. Well, I appreciate it. Travis, I really do appreciate you coming on and just sharing. You're sharing your intake, sharing your input on the nonprofit realm, and just, because it is frustrating, guys. Like he said, over 53,000 veteran nonprofits in the U.S. That's like 1,000 per state, dude. 1,000 plus per state. Like he said, why start your own nonprofit? There's already one in your area probably doing the exact same thing you're wanting to do. Go and help them. Help them grow their nonprofit. Help spread their word. They've already done all the footwork for you. All you got to do is just put your time and effort into it to allow people to be aware that they're there, because I guarantee you 90% of them have no marketing budget. 90% of veterans in your area don't even know they even exist.
There's a Google ad grant. I gotta plug that. I got an episode on this. Go to nonprofitarchitect.org or wherever you listen to this stuff. Nonprofit Architect Podcast. Put in Google ad grant or Preston Cohn. He used to work for Google and Facebook, and he teaches you how to use the Google ad grant, which Google is giving you $10,000 worth of free ads every month to promote your show, promote your nonprofit. $10,000 free dollars worth of ads. And you don't feel like doing marketing, no one can support you unless they know you exist.
Right, exactly. And you already know it.
But look, if you want to hear my show, or you want to hear Juan's show, or you want to hear one of the other 50 veteran-hosted shows we've got, check out the Veteran Podcast Network on Facebook. The shows are automatically populated in the page, or you can hop in the group and interact with the hosts, or you can go on nonprofitarchitect.org, Veteran Podcast Network, and check out the 50 shows there. You'll get updates about all the great shows. This year's up-and-coming Veteran Podcast Network, I was more than delighted to give one the Marine Corps Podcast of the Year hammer.
Absolutely.
This past October 5th, which is National Military Podcast Day. Exciting stuff. He actually co-hosted with me. He was in here talking trash while we were doing the show. It was hilarious.
While we were hosting it, right?
While we were hosting the show,
right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's about. It's being it's what it's about, brother. I mean, once we get out of service, like I said, Mr. Travis Johnson he's about to retire soon, so he's gonna have a real feel of like, I don't have to put on a uniform and fucking go in every day. I don't have to shave my face. I don't have to fucking brush my teeth if I don't want to brush my teeth. Like, I can put on a pair of freaking shorts and be a bum and like not know it. And then after a couple of months, you're gonna be like, this sucks, dude. I ain't doing shit. Like, I am really not. I miss hanging out with people. Like, I miss freaking seeing people every day, right? It's one of the struggles that we have, brothers, and this is why I do the show, because like I said, we always feel lonely. We always feel like there's nobody around there for us. There's nobody around with us. But that's a lie, because we are here, right? Like right now, like I said, if you come over to Vet Radio Syndicate has a show. They have like 2 shows a day, 7 days a week. I think they're up to 15 to 17 shows a week right now. That's like 2 shows a day. And some of those shows, they'll go on for hours, dude. I was talking to one guy. He was on for like 3 hours the other night. I was like,
Joe Rogan.
I was like, that's Joe Rogan, right? I was like, you're on for like 3 hours. They're on for like 3 hours a night. And they're just bullshit. They're just hanging out because they brought their brother on the show, and they're just bullshit like me and Travis is doing. We're just sitting around bullshit, man. And that's what it's about, is being able to interact. And then if you guys are watching their lives, you're able to interact, and they're going to interact with you on their lives. That's why I love Vet Radio Syndicate. Veteran Trash Talk. They have a show that comes out every Saturday. Every Saturday, it's a new show. They're bringing on a new guest every Saturday, and they'll interact with you. They'll talk with you, because why? We don't want you guys to feel like you're alone. We're here to, sometimes you need a smack in the face. That's what Travis was doing today, is trying to give you guys a little smack in the face to wake up, for you guys who are running nonprofits. Wake up,
light
dude.
the fires, kick the tires, man. Let's go.
You got to let it get going. Got to get it up and running, man. And so this is what it's about, is hanging out with everybody, you know. And then, like I said, on Mondays, I go live on Mondays with Smoke and Bacon. So, I mean, I'm everywhere. Like Travis said, he's like, Sarn G is everywhere now. He's starting to pop up.
You're doing
all
more
over
shows
the
than I
place,
am.
right?
Yeah.
He's popping up everywhere now. He's doing 2 lives a week, and he has 2 episodes he drops every week. And so this is one of the biggest things that you guys have got to understand, is that how are you becoming your own CEO? Travis is helping me become my own CEO. Start bringing in streams of income so that I'm not like, fuck, dude, this sucks, right? How do I bring in money? Think about this, think about that. And I'm always bouncing stuff off of him. He bounces stuff off of me, because that's the only way we can grow and help each other, is by talking with each other and say, hey, dude, this is what I figured out. What do you think about this? Sounds like a good idea. What do we need to do to get to that level? And that's what it's about, man. But Travis, dude, I really appreciate it, brother. I really appreciate you coming out, hanging out with me on this hump day. To hopefully the people that listen are like, wow, that's a really good show. So RNG doing pretty good over there at the Stone Vet. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, I'll have Travis's every way you can get a hold of him. He'll be in the description box. However you listen on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, I'm on every platform, dude. However you like to listen to it, I'm out there, right? And But like I said, if you watch my YouTube channel, don't forget to hit that daggum subscribe button, man. You guys, whatever it is, don't like to subscribe. Don't hit the bell. You won't know it's a new episode come out. But if you just subscribe, it helps my numbers grow, man, because we're supposed to help each other grow, right?
That's right.
Travis, I appreciate it. What's going on? Go ahead.
I want to leave the listeners with one last thing. We've talked about getting help with sleep, and we talked a little bit about community. There's 3 things that they talk about in all the reports they do for the National Strategy to Prevent Suicide, and all these different organizations group that are dedicating millions of dollars and thousands of hours of their time to figure out how to solve suicide. The main reason that Juan's talking about sleep is it's the number one indicator leading up to someone that is going to commit suicide. There's 3 main indicators. One is sleep disturbance. We don't get a lot of sleep. If you're getting broken sleep, every time that you get poor sleep every day, your ability to solve problems gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So the smallest thing that pops up, you don't know how to solve it. Make sure your sleep is getting in order. The number 2 thing is having your finances in order, whatever that looks like for you. There's some that are scraping by each and every week, and there's some that live more abundantly. But getting your finances under control and having that recurring income coming in helping you is going to make a huge difference in your personal well-being. And the number 3 thing which is where most veterans focus on, is community and purpose. That's the third indicator, and they almost always ignore the other two. The reason he's promoting cannabis, CBD, and the things that he does, especially for sleep, is because it's the number one way, the number one indicator of health and staying healthy is the quality of sleep that you get. Don't ignore it just because, oh, that's just how my body is. Don't ignore it. That is your number one way to stay healthy, to stay engaged, to get energy. And if you can get Sergeant G's product, it's going to help you out at rafa180.com. Get it. I'm looking forward to exploring alternative medicine here when I retire at the end of the month here. I'm looking forward to seeing if that couple of drops of Sapphire is going to take away all the other pills I take to go to sleep.
No, absolutely, brother. And absolutely. Yeah. And like Travis is saying, brother, he's absolutely right. That's one of the things we lack is sleep. And that's one of the biggest things that people commit suicide, that our brothers and sisters commit suicide. Like I said, we're shooting the show right now. We're averaging probably about 57 brothers and sisters who took their life today because of the lack of sleep, the financing, right? Whatever it is, and that's why I always promote, even if you're only getting 3 hours of sleep, you want to get good sleep. You want to be able to hit that REM cycle to where your body can feel rested when you wake up. And that's, like I said, in the description box, I'll have a hyperlink straight to that Sapphire, so you guys go straight there. And like I said, whenever you check out the STONED VET USMC, you get 15% off your purchase, man. And if you spend over $85, you get free shipping, dude, which ain't bad, man. It's not hard to spend $85 on a good quality product. I'll tell you that right now. It's not hard. It's good quality products, though. It helps with all kinds of different elements. And like I said, if you got questions, you can either email Rafa180, go to their Facebook page at Rafa180, or even if you go to the website, down at the bottom, they have their phone number, direct number. You call them and say, hey, look, I want to try this product. What can you tell me about it? And here before too long, they're going to have videos on every product to let you know exactly what to expect, man.
Yes, they are. I'm going to hold you to it.
They're doing it. I'm telling you right now, it's one of the biggest things they're doing. We're going to have videos for every product, man. But Travis, I appreciate you, brother, hanging out with me, man. Like I tell you guys, you want to pick up some of the STONED VET swag, go to rafa180.com. That's Romeo Alpha Papa Hotel Alpha 180.com. Top right hand corner says a STONED VET. Get some of this swag, dude. It's still cold outside. All y'all love good hoodies, right? Ginger and David hook you up over Really Designs. And for you guys out on the beach, why wouldn't you want a cup to keep your drinks cold? You can feel that. I think it's like 20. You can stick a whole freaking whole bottle of beer in here, dude, and you be call it good, dude. It'll stay cold the whole time you're on the beach. No lie,
no judgment. Man. No judgment.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us, man. Hopefully you guys got to enjoy this wonderful episode, man. Let me know what you think. Leave a description. Leave me 5 stars on iTunes. Apparently that's something you can do for shows that you like, man. Let me hit that algorithm, man. I appreciate it, Travis. I appreciate everything you guys are doing, man. Remember, guys, you are very important in this world. Regardless of where you're at in this life right now, you are very important, and we need you here to continue doing what you're doing, because without your support, nobody else is going to give it. So we need you here every day, man. Remember, guys, here at the STONED VET, we got your six.
Situations, I stay alert for my enemies trying to do me some harm. I fight for your freedom of speech and your right to bear arms. When I say I got your six, that means I got your back. But what else would you expect coming from the STONED VET? 1, 2, 3, 4 for my country, I go hardcore. Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Marine Corps.